Picture the last time you were really hungry. Not the kind of hungry where you open the fridge and nothing looks good, the kind where your stomach hurts, your hands shake, and you can't think about anything else. Now hold that feeling and ask yourself, how far would you actually go? Because what archaeologists found inside certain ancient caves answers that question in a way most people are not prepared for. In the 1990s, researchers excavating Goyet Cave in Belgium made a discovery that stopped them cold. Buried among the debris of an ancient campsite, dating back roughly 40,000 years, were Neanderthal bones, human bones. And when scientists examined them under a microscope, they found something that changed how we think about our ancient relatives forever. The bones had cut marks on them, not from animals, from stone tools. The same precise, deliberate cut marks that ancient humans left on deer bones, on horse bones, on every animal they hunted and processed for food. Those exact same marks were on human bones, on leg bones, on arm bones, on ribs. The cuts were made in the same places, with the same technique, for the same reason. Someone had processed these people the same way they processed prey. But the cut marks were only the beginning. The large bones, the femurs, the tibias, the thick bones of the arms, had been smashed open with stones. Deliberately, precisely, not to get at the bone itself, but to get at what was inside it. Bone marrow, a dense, nutrient-rich substance packed with fat and calories that ancient humans extracted from animal bones regularly. And here, they were extracting it from human bones. Some of the smaller bones, ribs, finger bones, still carried human tooth marks. Evidence of direct consumption. Not accidental, not incidental, deliberate. And Goyet Cave wasn't alone. In Sidrón Cave in northern Spain, researchers found the remains of 13 Neanderthals. Men, women, children, and infants, all showing the same evidence. Cut marks, smashed bones, marrow extraction. Genetic analysis revealed something even more striking. These 13 individuals were from the same family, a single family group, processed for food in the same place at the same time. Whatever had happened here, it hadn't happened to strangers. It had happened to a family. And then there was Gough's Cave in England, dating back approximately 14,700 years, and this time, the remains weren't Neanderthal. They were Homo sapiens, people anatomically identical to you, showing the same evidence, cut marks, smashed bones, tooth marks, but with one additional detail that nobody expected. The skulls had been carefully shaped into cups, not broken, not discarded. Deliberately worked, the rough edges smoothed and shaped into vessels that could hold liquid. Researchers call them skull cups, and the craftsmanship involved wasn't rushed or desperate. It was careful, intentional. Someone took time with this, which is when the real questions started forming in the minds of the researchers working these sites. Because two completely different explanations fit the evidence, and they lead to completely different conclusions about who ancient humans actually were. Was this survival, or was this something else entirely? The first explanation is the one most people reach for immediately: starvation. During the Ice Age, ancient humans faced periods of cold so severe that entire landscapes became uninhabitable. Animals migrated away, plants died under snow. Food sources that had sustained communities for generations simply disappeared. And when everything runs out, the calculus of survival becomes brutal in ways most people today will never have to understand. Survival cannibalism is documented across human history. It happens in extreme situations, and the archaeological record from sites like El Sidrón suggests that at least some of the ancient cases fit this pattern. A family group, caught in a period of severe scarcity, making an unbearable choice to survive. The evidence at El Sidrón points toward violence. The family wasn't processing their own dead out of grief. The bones suggest a group attack, likely by another Neanderthal group, under conditions desperate enough to drive that kind of conflict. Starvation doesn't just change what people eat, it changes what they're capable of doing to one another. But then there's Gough's Cave, and Gough's Cave doesn't fit the starvation model nearly as cleanly. The people at Gough's Cave 14,700 years ago were living during a period of relative abundance. The climate had warmed, animals were present, food was available. These were not people on the edge of survival, and yet the evidence of cannibalism at Gough's Cave is among the clearest ever found. Cut marks, marrow extraction, tooth marks, all present, plus those carefully crafted skull cups. Many researchers studying Gough's Cave now believe what happened there was something fundamentally different from survival. They believe it was ritual, a practice carried out not out of desperation, but out of something that functioned more like ceremony. In many ancient cultures around the world, consuming part of a deceased person was understood as a way of absorbing their strength, their spirit, their identity. The person wasn't lost. They were carried forward inside the people who remained. The skull cups suggest the same thing. You don't take time to carefully shape a skull into a functional vessel if you're starving and desperate. You do it because the object means something, because the person it came from meant something. And here's the detail that most people never hear about. After the marrow was extracted, after the bones had been processed completely, ancient humans at several of these sites didn't discard the human bones. They used them. The cleaned bones were repurposed as tools, used to sharpen stone weapons. The same practical mindset they applied to hunted animals was applied here as well. Nothing wasted, everything used. What does that tell us? It tells us that ancient humans, whoever they were and whatever their reasons, approached this with the same deliberate, purposeful mindset they brought to everything else. There was no chaos in what the bones show. There was intention. We will probably never know for most of these sites which reason was true: survival or ritual, desperation or ceremony. The bones preserve the action, but not the meaning behind it. And the people who could tell us have been gone for tens of thousands of years. The bones never tell us what they were thinking. They only tell us what they did. And sometimes that is far more unsettling. The caves where these bones were found are quiet now. The fires that burned inside them are long cold. The people who sat around those fires, who made those choices, who processed those bones and shaped those skulls, they are gone in every way except one. The questions they leave behind are still here, still unanswered, still unsettling in exactly the way they should be.